one of the key things that we do at the engine room is really provide a place for people to network. And so with this initiative, we wanted to provide that online and to provide a place where people could come together and discover the Levels and Moors area. So we have built this website, and you can log in using your existing Google, Facebook, Yahoo, WordPress or Twitter account, so you haven't got to create another account for yourself. And what you can do is you can create a profile for your business on here, and hopefully we can we'll support you later on this afternoon to do that. And really what we want to do is to encourage people to use local, and to source, whether it's the sausages from Evans the butcher down the road, or plants from Drayton nurseries, to try and source that locally, but also to provide for people who are coming to visit the areas, perhaps tourists, etc., or people who are interested in perhaps coming and bringing their business here, to find that network within the Levels and Moors area. Some of the participants that we've had on this have been from outside of the Levels and Moors area, but are interested in connecting with those businesses too. So you can make a profile for yourself. It literally pinpoints you on the map.
Thanks very much.
But this is kind of, again, one of the legacies is that hopefully we'll be putting up training materials through the site. We'll keep you updated with various changes on things. There's a blog on here, so we'll try and blog about any changes to things like Facebook, etc., etc. Let's see if I can get into that. Oh, he wants me to log in. So I should remember my password. Oh, look at that, see? Typical. I'll look in a minute. But basically we put all their updates on here. Here we go. Here's an article about automating things. So case studies, all that sort of thing. We try and keep you updated on things, because I was up last night just familiarising myself with some of the recent changes on Facebook, because it literally can change quite regularly. So, but we'll aim to keep you informed through this website. So we'll be helping you to set up a profile on this later. So this morning I'm going to cover a little bit about social media, and then this afternoon my colleague Ben Metcalf will be here to solve your other technical questions, but also to get you going and get you hands-on with some of the things. So what I'd like to do now is to find out a little bit more about you. So I wonder if in twos, if you could tell the other person a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your business, and perhaps some of your skills, and why you've come here today. What have been your technology nightmares, if any, or perhaps some sort of positive stories, some success stories if you've got some. And I'd like you to give me one objective for you or your organisation that you would like to achieve through social media. And that might be, for example, raising your profile. It might be attracting more customers. It might be wanting to find an outlet for your creativity, etc. Okay, is that all right? So if I could give you 10 minutes to do that, and then we'll feedback. That'd be lovely. Now I know most of you have got websites, I understand, and some of you have got blogs already. I'd like to begin with just giving you a quick overview of WordPress.com. Now WordPress.com is free to use. Again, all of the links to all of the things I cover today are on the website, so don't worry if you don't get the notes down. They're on the Levels and More's website. And it's a blogging tool, and a blog is an online diary. It was really popular in America, and has sort of taken, really come on now. And what a blog does is, a blog, in its purest sense, a blog can establish you as a thought leader in your field. So particularly if you're offering business-to-business services, talking about your subject, showing that you're passionate and knowledgeable even about it through your blog, but also sharing what other people are writing, etc., is a really powerful way of raising your profile. You can have more than one. You can see there that I've got 4. I also look after some for Somerset Film, and they're so easy to set up, and that's one of the reasons why I like using it. There are lots of other blogging tools. I've used Blogger and things like that. It just so happens that this is my particular favourite, but have a look at them and have a play, and see what suits you. Now, there are lots and lots of different layouts, so no 2 blogs have to look the same. This is Capture Hybrid, so this is a blog that I set up for a community group. It's a local history site. But the great thing about blogs is that it looks just like a website. We'll give you all the functionality of a website, but for no cost at all. And a blog traditionally will have its blog posts on the front page. So if I just scroll down here, you'll see that this front page has got very recent things. So here, because it's about local history, we're encouraging people to leave their memories about living and working in Highbridge, and then people can respond to it. You can see there that one's got 1 comment on it. You can also do things like, depending on the actual template that you use, you can insert widgets in columns or at the bottom. As I say, they've all got different kind of widgets that you can put in. Here I've got the email subscription, so I've got 35 subscribers on this website.
So how does that work? So if they're subscribed, when you do a blog, it automatically goes to them?
Yes, whenever
but they have to request it to start with. Is
yes.
that correct? So they obviously just send you their email and it's automatically saved in there, is it?
Yeah, it's automatically saved. Yes,
and it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So every time I post something, WordPress will automatically email all my subscribers.
Yeah.
Yes. But you can also, if I just behave. Okay. So here, this particular website is based on a history book that was put together by a local community group. But I'm also able to embed things. So here I've got. This is actually some photos, and it's hosted on YouTube, but embedded in the site.
Just to go back to the list that it's sent out to, if you have an existing mailing list that already accept your information is sent to them, are you able to add that into WordPress?
No, I think technically you're giving it over to a third party.
Okay.
So strictly speaking,
You need to
under
ask
your
them
data protection,
to subscribe again.
Yeah. So you would email them and say, but you could cover yourself both ways. I mean, you could, if they sign up, great. And what you might want to do is then just cross-reference that list against your email list to see how many people have taken it up.
With people who subscribe, is there a way of looking to see who subscribes?
Yes.
You do get a list of email and you have, so right, so you could, because I have a loyalty scheme, so I have a similar scenario.
Yeah.
I've got emails for people that join that. I could email them and say, would you like to subscribe to my blog?
Yes, absolutely.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So this is the
Do you put an
dashboard.
incentive for them to join up, or whether it's going to be some free report or something? Does that ever work for you?
Yeah, you could do. I mean, I don't ever do anything like that, but certainly I know that's one suggestion that you could do. It could be, if you sign up, you'll get a 10% voucher off, or it could be that you get an ebook, or you'll be sent something. I was working with Reflex First Aid Training, and it transpires that Heather's husband is a fantastic cartoonist, and was drawing the most fantastic really funny cartoons about what not to do when you're saving someone's life, basically. And there was something that he just doodled it on a napkin in front of us, but there was his creativity, and that could be an outlet. It could be that you send someone a cartoon as a thank you, or he could make a book of his cartoons, that sort of thing. So using your creativity, definitely. So I can see my subscribers. You can see here on the dashboard, it tells me how many people have viewed, how many I'm getting each day. I can look at it over a year, I can look at it over months, etc., etc. Most people, when their comments are made, their comments have to go via a moderator. Okay, so comments don't. You need to make sure that comments can't automatically go live, because here you can see this is a spam comment. They're just trying to get comments on my website to promote their stuff. That is just spam. So that's not going to get. You can see that I haven't approved that.
So if you prove it goes live. It will go live.
Yeah.
So, okay, and you can spam it, and then that will be.
Yes, and that will stop any more. I was getting a load of. For some reason, Portishead Radio is attracting a lot of Russian entries. Don't ask me why. I think it just was. I was getting a lot of emails from Russia, but yeah, not hundreds or anything, but just a few to make me kind of go. Oh.
So the dashboard would only be available to the administrator of the blog, presumably?
Yes, but also there are different levels so you can assign different levels of administrative responsibility to other people. So because this is a community site, I've got some people who are contributors. They can go into the back end, they can write an article, etc. But it has to go to someone with a higher authority before it gets posted. Other people are authors, so they can read those posts for historical accuracy and maybe just tweak something before it goes live. So they will get aspects to certain things, but they won't necessarily see, for example, the subscribers' email list, and they certainly can't delete the site. Only the administrator can do that.
And just going back a step,
Yeah.
When you're playing about at the beginning with your formats and everything else,
Yes.
presumably there's a point before you go live that you can do all that.
Oh,
So this is really basic stuff, but I haven't
no,
done all
absolutely no. I mean, the thing is, when you set up a blog, what you get given is, you can see at the top here, you'll get given the name of your blog and then .wordpress.com. Okay. And the minute you can keep it all in draft form until you're ready to make it go live. But usually no one's going to, when I set up a new blog, no one's going to see it, to be honest, unless they happen to be Googling some keywords that I'm putting in, etc. So, I don't tend to worry about that, and I'll just usually put up messages. In fact, I've got one on the Norman Goby which says, this site is under construction. So some pages have got pictures in, but no more content, etc. So that's what I tend to do. But you can keep it all in draft. Let me just. I'll show you. I'll tell you another way in a second about how you can keep it in draft mode. But here you can see these are some of the themes that you can choose from. So there's lots of different themes. Now, just because it's got a picture of bananas in, doesn't mean that your blog is going to have a picture of bananas in. This is just a demonstration, okay? But what it means is you can put a picture in that space, okay? So again, on this one here. And what you can do is you can also, when you've put up a little bit of content, but maybe you're not entirely sure that template is right for you, you can preview it. So here I'm going to preview Capture High Bridge with this particular, there it comes up. with this particular template. So you can put up a little bit of copy and put up some photos, put up your company logo, and just have a little bit of play. Have a look at it in different templates. Okay, so this is what it would look like if I wanted this particular one, which I don't. And up there you would just click activate it and it would automatically go live in that template. Okay, just going to close that. Now you will see most of these templates are free. They have recently started introducing some that you can buy, and you know what they call premium templates. I think I'm possibly tempted by one at the moment, but to be honest, there's usually a free template for every occasion, to be perfectly honest. And here you can see there's a description of the template, and here are some tags as to kind of what it'll allow you to do. So this one will allow you to have, for example, a sticky post. And basically that means, if I go back to my blog page, this message at the top here is a sticky post. And because what happens is when you make a post, it goes to the top of the list. So you can see that I made that one last year, and I've made this one recently. But this one will always be at the top because it's a sticky post. Okay.
Can you only have one sticky post?
Yes. Yeah.
You can change that sticky post.
Yes,
Is
you
that
can.
like an introduction then, really?
Yeah, you could do. I mean, the other thing is that you don't necessarily have to make the blog your landing page. And by landing page, I mean that's the first page that people come to when they type in your web address.
Right, because at the moment I'm blogging, and I mean it's actually under Dean's blog because
Yeah.
he can't do it, so he's given it to me. But so you have to go into his blog to get it. So when you say with the web page, it would come up as when you first put it. I'm not quite sure how. I know there are different places you can do it, aren't there? And I've only learned to do it in one particular part of the web, which is on Dean's blog.
Okay.
But there are.
Yeah. So if I type in my web address, what this is going to do is I've pointed my web address at this front page. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And
So
that's
this is a WordPress site.
this is another WordPress site. Yeah.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a different site. Yeah.
But you don't need the WordPress at the end. You
No.
can remove that.
Right.
Can you?
Yeah, so basically why I like WordPress is if, for example, you're going to set up a new business and you don't necessarily want to spend lots of money on a website, you just want to get your feet wet first. You can buy your domain name to stop anybody else buying it, so .co.uk, this one cost me £6 plus VAT for 2 years. And I bought it from lcn.com, and when you buy them you will normally set up an account, and literally you just log into your account, and there is something called web forwarding, and you literally then point your domain name where you want it to go. So I've just pointed it at the home page on this website, and you can choose to have it masked or unmasked. So as you probably remember, as I said earlier,
Where do you choose the mask or the unmask? Is that in your LCN?
yeah, it's in the web forwarding part, yes.
I'm confused.
Okay, no, that's okay.
I'm lost.
Yeah.
If you already have a website,
Mm-hmm.
how would you then produce a blog that was separate?
Yeah, what you do is
Website.
basically on your front page of your website, in much the same way as you'd have a tab for, a link to another page on your website.
Yeah.
It would just take you straight into your blog instead.
But what would you call your blog? I mean,
I would give it your, it might be,
Sally's blog.
yeah, Sally at
He's
Charlton,
got
or
Dean's blog, but it's
Yeah,
actually on the web.
but what would you
page.
use for your address at the top?
so.
I'm missing something.
No, that's okay. Let me just. What WordPress will do is when you set up your blog, it will
Yeah.
give you a .wordpress.com.
Yeah.
But what you can do is you can set an address or a domain name,
Yeah.
and you can point it to your .wordpress.com. And so what it does is, if you like, when someone types in debrichardson.co.uk,
Yeah.
I don't actually have a website hosted anywhere.
Yeah.
When someone types that in, because it's all based on numbers, it points it at the location that I want it to go to. So it'll
Right.
say, so let me see if I can log in and I'll show you.
So it's a WordPress address, the actual blog, but you could actually point
You
it at a...
You can hide the fact that it's a WordPress.
You do point it to that WordPress, but it doesn't come up. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So if somebody looking, it would look like a website.
Yes.
That's basically, it's a cheap way of doing a website.
And also, later on, perhaps when you've decided that you do need that all singing, all dancing website, and there isn't a template there, and you've sort of moved on beyond the needs of what WordPress can do, because you own your domain name, when your web designer has built your new website, you literally just then point your domain name at your new site.
My problem is slightly the other way round. I already have a website,
Yes.
but it's done for me. A blog would be an easier, quicker way for me to add some content because it's actually done for me. The website is more, I mean, it's changed relatively frequently, but not like every week because I've got a guy who does it
Yeah.
who lives somewhere else.
Sure.
Yeah.
A blog would be a way of just putting up some more variable information.
More up to date.
More
You're
up to date
constantly,
information, but I don't want it to mask the
No,
website.
that's
No,
what
no.
Mars does
No.
actually.
I
It
would-
is the website isn't changed at all. But
No,
I go in and put comments about, so and so on offer this week, or it's all
That's the
tidy
sort of
up.
thing
And
I
that's what
wanted
I
it
do.
to
Yeah,
do.
and then it just doesn't affect the web page at all.
but you
that's
go
fine.
into the blog via the website.
I go into my web page. You scroll down at the bottom. It says
What's your address? So it's Drayton.
Drayton Nurseries.co.uk. And it says Dean's blog, and you click on that, and it'll bring up whatever's going on. So you go down.
Did I miss it?
It says somewhere. I'm not quite sure. Contact us, maybe? Be under that?
Might be under
that. Famous that cat. Yeah, that's one. Contact us, wasn't it?
Okay, look.
See what you mean about this sandwich.
It's nine. It's absolutely.
People looking for
Actually,
big white arrows on the
One
road.
thing I would suggest
Yeah.
is make sure your postcode is in really big letters because so many people have got
Exactly.
sat nav.
Yeah.
If you make it really part of your marketing, it
Yes.
gets into people's heads. That helps them find you.
Yeah.
Also at the top, always have the phone number. Phone number and
Right.
Dean's
postcode.
blog. There we
At
go.
Drayton Nurseries phone number. That is what you want. You want that contact, don't you?
Yeah.
And so the first thing people often look for is, I can't find it. I'll speak to them. Oh, where's
Yeah.
the number? Oh,
Right.
I can't find the number.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah.
And so on every single, but the way you've got it is be good. It's
Well,
great.
it was. We had an old one from
There we
years
go.
and it's awful.
Yeah.
It was dreadful.
So to do that,
And then you just go in.
how would
and
you host that blog to become part of your website?
So this is WordPress that's hosting it.
right.
Yeah.
So
and I just get log
all
in
they'd
and
got
alter it, and then
was a link
And then a link is put in on the
Reserves.
website.
on the website.
To it. I've
Yeah.
got it. I
Yeah.
can
but
see
it doesn't
yeah.
affect anything else. It purely
No.
gives me. the
You've got a
facility.
link, just
Yeah.
as you would link to another website.
Yes, I suppose
You've got
so,
a link
yes.
on your
Yeah.
website.
So-
yeah.
So
So-
here on the page was a link to the blog.
So really, with the Dean's blog, that again needs to be right up at the top because that's all your special offers. It's changing all the
Yeah.
time. So look at what's today's special. Boom, boom, boom. That's
Yes.
every single
Yeah.
page. we really had to hunt for this, and it was only really with your help that we found it.
No, that's a good point.
But
actually.
that's all
Yes.
the new stuff that's coming in, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Or
that,
just information.
what do people want? You know, people are looking for deals.
Yeah.
That's what everybody wants today. You know, and you're putting them there in your blog, but you're not updating the website every day. So your special deals, whatever you can do, maybe there's something special this
On your front
weekend,
page.
You want a clear kit, do whatever. That's what I put it.
Right.
And then
Put it
bang,
at
that's
the
what
top.
people go
Put it on
to.
the
Yeah.
first page.
First page, top page, every page. If that's what you want.
The current
Yeah.
offers see the blog,
Yeah.
and then the button for the blog underneath.
Because
Yeah.
otherwise you'd be updating all the website, and
Mm.
you
Do
don't
you
want to
need
do
to-
that.
I mean, I'm just thinking in terms of what you want to achieve with your blog, because if it is about special offers, then obviously that makes sense. But
I mean, to a certain extent, it's more just to get people to come and
Yeah.
find us. Once they found us, we've got them usually. You know, we do repeat customers very good. But it is just it's our location. We are such a quiet location. You know, that's part of the attraction. If people come because we've got the coffee shop, oh great, you know, you can wander around and it's a very attractive site.
Yeah.
The coffee shop is very relaxed.
Yeah.
You know, you haven't got the drum of cars and vroom, vroom, you know, get the helicopters, but I don't mind those. But basically, that is part of our attraction. It's just
Yeah.
such a nice place to come.
well, I'm thinking,
You know.
my sister, who's
Yeah.
much more savvy on all this stuff, she has a chambre in France, and she also, so she trades, she does that, but she also trades antique, mainly linens and things. And her blog is not so much about special offers, but she writes about rooting about in, you know,
Yeah.
jumble sales in Lyon and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then literally people go back and say, oh, when are you going to, you know, post that one?
Yeah.
I'm really interested. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
for her, she's got a relationship with these people now.
Yes.
She's
Yeah.
practically pen friends with them all. But
Yes.
obviously that takes time
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
But it has paid off. She's got
Yeah.
an international following who. It's not about bargains in that particular case.
Yeah.
That might
No.
be, you know, obviously this
Mine
climate.
wouldn't necessarily be about bargains. I would be more interested to put what's actually happening
Yes.
this week.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
What's
Events.
actually in the shop this week, having very perishable product. Some
Yes.
things are only there for a couple of weeks.
Mm.
So something like old Somerset pippin, we only have for 2 weeks. Stick it on something.
Yeah.
So
Or you
that-
might be
just the more
responding to something else that's going on. I mean, yeah, I've said to you before about I watch Gardener's World religiously.
Yeah, I know, we cringe.
Oh, I
You
throw
know,
things at the television.
Everybody's
I
going
don't
to
watch
come
it.
in wanting a particular colour something that you can't get hold of because there'll be one nursery in the country that grow it and it'll have gone.
Well, you may want
You
to
know?
respond to that by saying, do you know what? I think that, you know, I think
Yeah.
Monty missed a trick because actually this is a much better plant
Yeah.
because X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And then they know that they're going to
And
come to a knowledgeable
I know some of the
place.
bigger garden nurseries or garden centres, they actually have insider knowledge.
Yeah,
they know
they'll
what
know
they're
what's
gonna
coming up.
be.
Yeah.
They, you know, they can
Yeah.
do it in advance, can't they? Which of course
It's infuriating.
it is.
It's when the advice is wrong, when they
Yes,
get sort of fruit growing
absolutely.
advice and it's wrong.
wrong. Yeah.
I can get quite vicious. I tend not to watch them much.
I should
My
make sure
husband-
to
my
upload
husband's
them.
a bit like that.
I
He
should
gets a
watch-
bit nasty
I should
about
watch
it.
them more, but I end up.
Well,
It's not good for my blood pressure.
No, don't do
Oh,
it.
no, you see, it is good for my blood pressure because that's how I relax on a Friday night. And unfortunately, you know, people like me who do go out and spend money in, you know, we are listening to it. So to be able to then go onto a local blog where I'm going to get, because also it's that thing about, well, is that plant right for my garden?
Absolutely,
You know,
which we're very
because
hot on
It
that.
is,
Yeah.
What is frightening is the power of the media.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
you can be banging on about something really good for years,
And then also it's a new
and then
thing.
all of a
yeah.
sudden, Monty Don says exactly the
You're
same
saying
thing,
it is, yeah.
and suddenly it's like, yeah, okay, it is then, and it's very frustrating, but it just shows the power of the media to get a message
Absolutely,
over to
yeah.
people.
but also how you can use it to your
Yes,
advantage.
Of course
Sure.
you can. It's interpretation, isn't it?
Yeah, just
Yes.
responding, you
Yeah.
know, that's what,
Yeah.
you know, so before people set out on the Saturday to come and buy that blue poppy, you know, if you're already kind of blogging about it, you know, it's not in stock, but we've got a lovely red one. You know,
Much better colour.
you're not disappointing your,
No, you're giving them an alternative.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, you're managing that relationship with your customers.
I think stressing the local, you know, the fact that you know the local
Yeah.
soil types,
Yeah.
you understand
Exactly.
the challenges
Yeah.
of gardening.
Yeah.
levels
And we
or
do
whatever.
grow a lot of our own, not everything because you just couldn't keep up demand. We're not a big enough site for that. But if we don't grow it ourselves, it'll be Somerset grown, basically.
Right,
We don't
Well, that's a
import from-
fabulous
Yeah,
selling
we
point,
try
isn't
as
it?
much as possible
Yeah.
Not to import from Belgium or Holland or anywhere else. You know, occasionally get a bit, but not on a regular basis.
Mm.
Um,
Yes, so that's so blogging and
yeah, but I
Pruning.
note that, couldn't it, further up the page. I think, you know, it's something had occurred to me, but because I wasn't really involved in actually doing the web page, that was more my husband and chap that we did it with. So you know, sometimes it's staring you in the face, isn't it? It's common sense when you think about it. But
well, you know, if I come to you and buy an apple tree, if I can subscribe to your newsletter that's going to remind me when to prune,
Brilliant idea.
that's a dream for me.
I'll make a note of that one. Think
should
about
we
it.
pruning
It's-
fruit trees
yes.
now?
Yeah, fruit growing advice.
But it's
So
giving extra value
Yeah.
Yes.
when a customer comes through
all
your
the
door.
stuff that
Yeah.
we do all the time for people who pick up the phone and ask us.
Yeah, yeah.
So almost
FAQs.
when somebody phones you and asks for that information,
That's the thing.
straight
blog.
down onto the
Onto
blog,
onto
because
Yeah.
then it's
the blog.
gone to maybe 250,
Yeah.
300,000
Yeah.
people, however many people are reading that blog.
Yeah,
And that's
Yeah.
really useful.
Yes.
That's great.
But also, if you know that they've got, you know, they've come in and they've purchased an apple tree, you know, knowing then at the bottom of your, you know, you've given advice about pruning, but it might be, you know, that come and buy your coddling moth traps, or you know,
Yeah.
I'm
the
impressed.
reminder.
That's very good.
yes.
Talk about plants for hours with you, but
So
fact,
this is
I will
going
be-
in my head.
No, it sounds really impressive. Now I think I need one. You need to
I do, yes, absolutely.
but also it might be, you know, embedding other content. I mentioned to you on the phone, didn't I? I've just discovered Martin Crawford, who's the agroforest, the forest garden thing, you know, because this is the next.
Oh, I see.
You know,
Yes.
I know you probably hate kind of trends and fashion. In fact, I have a few plants that I have to blame
I'm
Alan for.
perfectly
But,
happy for forest gardens. I'll just sell them some trees.
yeah.
That's right. Yes.
But you know, he's got some fascinating talks that are on YouTube, and it may be that you find one that, you know, is appropriate, and you embed that into your blog. It doesn't always have to be information that comes from you.
No, that's it, isn't it?
You
That
can
is right.
utilise,
Using,
Yeah, everything
There's
that's out
something I
there.
always click on. It must be a freebie that comes through. It's Somerset Bulletin or something. Guy that I don't know where it comes from, but it comes up regularly. And I do read it, and there's some quite topical things that come through from it, which are some of it's rubbish, and some of it you think, well, actually, that's quite a good idea. Obviously, completely on a broader field, but yeah.
Yeah. And it
see what
might
other
be,
people are
you know,
doing.
hooking into other blogs. So, for example, sorry to go on about, but thinking about food and thinking about the other organisation that you're involved in, you know, learning from the landscape. That's right.
Learning from the land.
Learning from the land. I found out about that through subscribing to the Transition Taunton newsletter.
Right.
You know, so there's a very particular group that are interested in you know, growing their own food, obtaining it locally, etc., etc. You know, so hook
And
into.
heritage varieties because of the,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
the strength of
Locals,
diversity.
Absolutely.
And there's a blog called Zero Food Miles, and they post recipes up, you know, as like mulberries come into season, they'll post a recipe up about that, etc., etc. You know, so again, if you can respond to content that's on other people's blogs and then point them to something that's useful on your blog, you know, you're going to get cross traffic, that sort of thing.
Really interesting stuff. I'm not going to have time to learn to actually grow any fruit.
That's the trouble, isn't it?
This is the problem.
That is
There's
the
so
problem.
much to do.
Yeah.
It's-
Well,
Right,
yeah,
okay.
there's only two of us.
What else do I want to tell you about? So yeah, it is very important not just to talk about yourself, but you know, to talk about other things that's happening too, because otherwise, you know, your subscribers are going to unsubscribe basically. And there is some recent research that came out that said that websites that have got a blog embedded get 55% more traffic, and that goes up exponentially according to how frequently you blog.
Yeah.
And the other great thing about if you have a WordPress blog is that it will automatically embed your posts into Facebook, Twitter, etc., etc.
Oh,
We'll come on to that a bit
I was
later.
going to say that, 'cause I know I've got a Facebook and Twitter icon on the website, but I don't actually use them. So that's what I was, you know.
When you say you don't actually use
I
them.
don't do anything with them at all because I don't know how to.
Right.
So what you're
From
saying
here.
is the WordPress site, when you put a blog post, that can be linked into any of your social
So you,
media accounts.
so you don't have to do it
and
3 times.
automatically does it.
You don't, but
You still
I
have
will.
facilities set up.
I will come on to this later, but let's cover it now because it, you know, if it's going to be of use to you, I think there are sort of social media people out there who will say that every platform is different and you should treat every platform
Right, yes.
different, and there are inherent dangers in automating your updates too far.
Right.
Now, one, for example, when WordPress, one thing you have to be aware of, when WordPress, sends out a thing through Facebook alerting them that you've made a new post, it literally takes the first 300 characters of your post and then provides a link to the remainder of the page. Because one of the other things that you want to do if you're using social media is that, a primary use is because you want to drive traffic back to your website.
Yes.
Okay, so if you've got a Facebook page, your WordPress blog will automatically be embedded on your Facebook page, but it's only going to take the first 300 characters. So you need to get to the point in the first few sentences. And if you're going to link it to your Twitter account, you've only got 140 characters. So you really need to be very clear what your blog post is about, in the first couple of sentences. Okay. Yeah, you can even link this to so here we go under sharing, to LinkedIn now too. There you go. So that's what you can connect to. So with this one, I am just connected to Facebook on it, and it's actually connected to Somerset Films' Facebook account.
So
not
say,
mine.
do you need a Facebook account in order for you to do that?
Yes.
Because I haven't got one. My husband has, but that will be under his name, won't be under Drayton Nurseries. So should you set up a Drayton Nurseries one, or a personal one, or both?
Okay. Shall we come onto Facebook now?
Yes.
Is that okay? Is that okay with WordPress?
Yeah, that was
Yeah?
fascinating.
Okay. Well, you can this afternoon we can show you quite literally how to create your pages, how to create your posts. We can get you a site up and running. And what else? That's it for that one. Okay. If I told you my top 10 things about WordPress, I think I have. Okay. Facebook. Oh, I should apologise. This is my personal Facebook profile you're about to look at. I do have quite a number of young people on there at the moment, so apologies if they've written anything untoward. Okay.
We've all got teenagers, so let me know.
Okay. So this is my Facebook profile. The only reason that you can see these entries on my newsfeed is because I'm logged into it. If you go to look at my account, my privacy settings are set that you can't see any of this. Because other than showing you in a workshop today, I do not use my profile for business purposes. And the main reason being that Facebook in its guidelines says that you can't use it for business purposes. And if they find out, they'll delete your account. And allegedly, it's the only way you can get your account deleted off of Facebook once you've set one up. Because it's quite difficult to actually delete your account once you've got one, apparently.
But when they say you can't use it for business purposes,
People do. I
well,
know.
I was going to say, Tesco have a page, don't you, where they do their promotion?
They have a page, but not a profile.
Oh, right.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
So this is a personal profile.
So a page is for business and a profile is personal.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
then you're on Facebook.
Okay. So here you can see on the left-hand side my pages. So I have my own page, and I've also got administrative privileges on Somerset Films page. Okay. So we'll just have a quick look at my page. Very boring. And I use my page purely to share information about filmmaking. Although you can see here, I've demonstrated something. There you go.
Can you have more than one page?
You can have as many pages as you want.
Wow.
Yes. But you can only have one profile linked to one email account. And I've seen lots of people using their work email address in order to set up another profile so that they can deal with work stuff. But actually, what you should do is you just have one profile and you have numerous pages set up for whatever things you're
So
interested
if
in.
you had more than one facet to your business like you do,
Mm.
Yes,
then you'd have a different web.
A different Facebook page.
Yeah.
different
for each of those
pages.
facets of the
So that
business.
otherwise it gets very confusing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about pages is they are public, okay, and they are
Okay,
searchable by Google, okay, so people can find you, but obviously they need to have a Facebook account in order to view it. But given how many millions of people have got Facebook accounts, in fact, I read last night that 91% of Londoners have a Facebook account. It's just literally millions of people. So you
So
are
apparently
sure
the
to find
third,
someone.
Third largest nationality in the world now, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
There's a beautiful infographic. I might run it for you at lunchtime. A film that, you know, yeah, puts all that into context. Yeah, you know, YouTube is effectively a search engine now. It's, you know, and it said on a film I was watching last night that it was the US Library of Congress that used to have the world's largest photo collection, and now the world's largest photo collection is actually on Facebook. It's got 4% of all photos ever taken is on Facebook.
Wow.
There's a lot of content
The
on there.
potential of that is to grow, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's just the start.
Yeah. I mean, you've probably seen that advert. I think it was an advert for Google Chrome. Is it Google Chrome? Where they are encouraging you to open an account for when a baby is born. That you open an account and that people blog things and post photos, etc. And then when they turn 18, there's this kind of this online treasure box. Yeah. Yeah.
Get your own back on your teenagers.
Yeah. Okay, so, but the thing about social media is that, you know, it's part of your marketing mix. It is not, you know, the silver bullet. It's not the only answer, okay? So, you know, if you're going to use Facebook, then have an objective for using it, okay? And it might be that, you know, it's to raise the profile about an event.
Yeah.
It might be that you want to increase sales. It might be that you just want to give some value to your customers afterwards. You know, so have an objective for using it. Most people's objective is, as I say, driving traffic back to the website. Okay. So again, having a website or at least a blog, you know, where you can post some information first and then provide a link on Facebook to it. Whether that's commenting about somebody else's information or etc. etc.
So I see we're going to do this afternoon. So you've done your blog. You just click on the icon on the web, and it would presumably just go straight to it, would it? Is that how it works?
When you're in here,
Yeah.
you just on the sharing settings, you just literally, you know, connect to Twitter, for example. You know, and then I just have to authorise connection to my account. I tell it which account I want it to go to.
So you don't, what, a password or something?
Yeah, your username and password. So Facebook isn't this website, as I said, this blog isn't actually linked to my Facebook page. It's actually linked to Somerset Films, but because I've got admin privileges, I can do that. So I'm kind of, if you like, I'm sharing that content with another audience too. Yeah, and again, you can send it to your LinkedIn even. Okay. So for business use.
So thinking about sort of the circle round, you're in WordPress. You blog some information about your fruit trees.
Yeah.
That this is the time to prune. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Then goes on to Facebook.
Yes.
Somebody reads it.
Yeah.
Who's one of your friends, or they
Yeah.
like your page, or
Yeah.
however that is. They come through to your WordPress, and then you get them to sign up. And then after that, it will go directly to their inbox as an email, as opposed to having to find the link to the Facebook. Is that a good idea?
Yeah, equally. But you know, again, I'd probably still be putting it on Facebook because someone's
as well.
Yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
wouldn't it I mean, what I find, not so much writing stuff, but if I like something on Facebook and maybe comment on a page, then my friends see
Exactly.
it, curiosity,
Exactly.
they'll look
That's
to
how
it.
it
Yeah.
works, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it becomes
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
acquiring
ripples
that
on a
sense.
pond,
Yeah.
and then someone
Absolutely.
discovers you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's, you know, that's why the funny films and that go, isn't it? That people
Yes.
see them on each other's pages.
Yeah, I mean, I use, you know, I predominantly, as well as keeping in touch with people, I predominantly use my Facebook profile to find useful information, because that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in sharing information, and so you can see here, because you can get to a certain point with your profile in which, you know, if you've got, well, the average Facebook user's got 130 friends. You know, and if they've all come home at 6 o'clock and they're all, you know, sending their messages on that, that's a lot of content coming through on your newsfeed. And I use it to, you know, so I can find information that I can pass on to others. And so what I do is I've got lists. I use lists. So here you can see that I've got a list for my family. So when I'm not at work, I only really want to read messages. You know, I don't want to do work stuff necessarily, but sometimes that creeps in. So I can literally click on, if I click on family, it'd probably be my sister playing Smurfs. Oh yeah, look, there's a surprise. No messages whatsoever. No, I think there will have been a few, because she was...
What on earth is that?
Yeah, it's a game. It's a game. Don't even go there.
Fine.
Yeah, please don't go there.
And she's a fan.
Yeah, she's my sister. Yeah, unfriend her immediately. But as I say, you know, some of the pages that I've liked where I'm getting information from, so, you know, if I'll just click on that list, and then I'm only seeing posts in my newsfeed from pages, and I can scroll down. There's a few from Somerset
So do you
Film.
have to physically choose who, so you, a bit like a
Kind of
file,
allocate them.
like a file, you allocate who from
Yeah,
who are
to your
found
list.
into a particular file. don't
Yeah.
And they can
Yeah.
be in a number of lists.
Yeah, they can.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
I get it. I've got so
Oh,
many.
time's doing work.
This is what I mean.
You need someone full time just to do this, don't you? This is a crazy life.
Well, the thing about using lists is once it's set up, that should
done,
shorten your
Sure.
time.
Yeah.
You know, because if you are going to use Facebook for work, then you'll notice in the bottom right hand corner, my chat is offline, because you know, when I'm using it for work purposes, sometimes I'll have people springing up at the bottom wanting to have a chat because they think I'm online, and it's like, no, I'm actually I'm working. So I'm permanently
I suppose
offline.
that's the thing with if you're controlling it a bit from the blog side, you're not going to get interrupted because you're sending the information you want and it goes. So then up to you to just check what's come through when you have time, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. But also, in terms of your content, the things that you write on, you know, that you write on Facebook, in order for you to, you know, if some, and most people don't have lists, let's face it. You know, I have, but I guess that I'm fairly unusual. When you click on your news feed, Facebook has this kind of algorithm for, you know, where your story kind of shows up. So all through the day, you know, all my friends, they've all been posting, etc. And perhaps as Somerset Film, I've posted something out there. But you know, I tend to scroll down maybe to the bottom, and that's kind of as far as I go, you know. And it just so happens I'm lucky that I think I was posting these at midnight last night, so they're kind of, yeah. So they're still on there, but by the time I get home from work, and there's the Facebook rush hour, which is between 4 and 6. You know, there'll be loads more, and I might have missed something, you know, really useful. But equally, your customers might not be reading your stuff. You know, so you need to be. You can use Google. You can use Google. You can use Facebook Insights, and they will show you when people are kind of commenting on your posts. So that's the other thing about automating is, yes, you can automate content, but what you want to do is you want to engage people in a conversation on Facebook, because then your posts get featured higher up on the. You know, so if I scroll to the top, You know, this one's at the top because someone's gone, yay, I like it. Whereas on all the others, nobody has yet, you know.
Oh, right, I didn't realise that's how that happens. So it shows you how many people have actually clicked on it.
So,
They have to tell your families and click like or whatever. Well,
Yeah.
that's how it works.
Yeah.
My friend who's trying to promote something, he kept asking us to click on it, which I
Yes.
didn't appreciate. Now I understand why.
yeah. So, you know, you might write a lovely blog post about, you know, pruning, you know, fruit trees. But that, and it's going to take the first 300 characters for Facebook. But is that first 300 Facebook characters going to incite people to comment? Yeah. So, you know, if you are going to use Facebook, yeah, great, post your, you know, link your blog to it, but you also need to consider additional content for your Facebook page that's going to encourage people to you know, to interact with you. Okay. This is Daisy Chain Baby. Oh, let me get, actually, before I do that, let me go back. Okay. What you're not seeing on this page, because I'm logged into it, is when you go onto a new page, like Daisy Chain Baby, a page at the top will have a like button there. Now, if someone comes and visits your page, that's great, and they'll read the content on that page. But the only way your posts are going to get into their news feed is if they click the like button. Okay. So for a lot of people, it's all about getting people to click the like, and you will see numerous competitions out there at the moment from companies, and you can only enter it if you click the like button, and it's called fan gating. And you know, this means that companies can get, you know, big numbers of people clicking their like button. But if all you're going to do is then bombard that person with adverts about your cranberry juice, Ocean Spray, I hope you're listening because I clicked your like button. They then bombarded me with stuff, and what did I do? I hid them. You know, and that's that. So they may well have 15 million likes on their page, but how many people are actually reading their content?
Because people don't really like it. That's the point.
That's the thing, and that's why, you know, fan gating is quite controversial. Okay, you may get lots of likes, but actually, how many people are reading your content, and how many people really like your, you know, like your product?
And this is something that, you know, people click like, maybe not so much, well, sometimes for commercial things, but for charities and things, just sort of show this is the kind of person I am, but not really interested in all the posts. Or is that just me?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, and it may well be that, yeah, for causes and things like that, you want to flag up that you're, you know, you're
Read
into
some,
that.
but you don't really want to read day to
But
day.
you might not. Yeah. So, you know, but you know your customers best. You know, you will know what they'll be interested in, and also you'll get that feedback by, you know, experiment, blog, you know, put different sort of things on, see what comments you're getting, you're kind of getting back, how many likes, how many shares you might be getting, you know, and use that information to help you develop what your content's going to be on Facebook. So this is
It's something about engaging people rather than just posting, isn't it?
you have to remember that this is a community. Nestle got into big trouble. Nestle are fairly controversial anyway, so they set up a Facebook page, and of course you could post on there. So of course Nestle has, you know, quite a bit of negative press, and so people used it to ask them questions about things that happened in Africa, and so then Nestle went, oh, we don't like this, we don't want you posting on our wall. Well, you know, I'm sorry, but that's the point of Facebook. It's engaging in the conversation. It's a community.
I did that with Tesco's. They take down your posts as quick as they can.
Yeah,
I mean, they weren't offensive. They were just, you know, questions about, hang on a minute.
chances are people who like your page are going to be people who like you already. They will know you, you know, already. That's how they're going to come to you in the first instance. But if they share your content, if they comment on it, then it starts to ripple out. And as I said earlier, most people, the average Facebook user has 130 friends. The average fan, person who will click like on a page, has 330 friends. Now, they reckon that probably 30 to 40% of your friends are going to be people who live locally, who live close to you. So what you're then doing by them sharing that content on, through
Go
their
to
news
their
is
friends.
you're reaching that wider audience
Yeah.
and build, and that's how you start to build, your audience for you. So now it used to be that when you set up a page, if you got to 25 people who'd said, "Yay, we like you," I have no friends. I've only got 9. And most pages do end up with kind of around about the 9 or 10 if you don't put any work into it, basically. Okay. And it used to be that you could only get what they called a vanity URL, okay, if you had 25. So I think at my last presentation I said you can get a vanity URL, that's like a vanity address, if you've got 25 likes. But actually they've now changed the rules and you can get it now. Yay! So I did last night. So I've got now debrichson.co.uk instead of, if I go to Somerset Films fan page, can you see that hideous long number? What you can do is you can, if you like, if that's the address to your page, you shorten it down by getting a vanity URL. So now
you just alter the settings, do you? To
Yeah.
have that? Yeah.
yeah, you do. Yeah, I can show you how to do that. Yeah. Now, I foolishly called my page Deb Richardson because I was just starting out, and I've since learned that actually I shouldn't have called my page Deb Richardson. A, because there are so many Deb Richardsons in the world, I was never going to get the vanity URL Deb Richardson. It just wasn't going to happen. I'm a late bloomer with Facebook. And it might well be that, so someone might already have got it. And what I should have done was I should have called my page debrichardson.co.uk, which is what I've now called my vanity URL. Okay. Because if people are Googling me, the fact that my page is called my website name, it just tightens things up. So people will automatically type debrichardson.co.uk and they're going to find my website or my Facebook.